Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. We return once again to Dragon Age Rise of the Qunari, the beginning of Chapter 3. Tonight, our story takes us to two lone travelers who have just arrived at Skyhold at the Inquisition and are seeking somewhat of a refuge, you could say. Our story will begin with these two travelers entering the main recruitment station for the Inquisition at Skyhold and meeting with one known as Priscilla. As you two approach, you can see a very vast open chamber with a lot of paperwork scattered around and a very large desk, and you see this woman sitting behind it. And she looks up as you two enter, and she says, "Enter."
Mirrors will take point, though. She does not let Valen go into rooms first while muttering, "Every city we go to, you burn in some way. Behave yourselves and we can survive here.
I never do it on purpose.
You need to learn discipline, brother."
I try. And he'll smile.
So, take her place in front of, I think that says Priscilla.
Yes, this is indeed Priscilla.
Okay. Just take her place in front of her desk and be like, "My brother and I come from Orlais. We wish to join the Inquisition."
Indeed, we've been monitoring you for some time. Tell me, why do you wish to join the Inquisition?
Is it not honorable to wish to help those in need?
Come now, my dear, there are many who have their duties set to honor, but that is clearly not your and your brother's intention.
I mean, what's better than making some coin and working with an organization that's quite charitable in the same benefit?
Maris, this is the Inquisition you are in now. And out of all the people in the Inquisition, there are those of us who can tell very easily when someone is lying. There are no lies held here to our comrades in the Inquisition. If you cannot drop this lie, then I will ask that you turn around and leave.
Because my brother tends to run into trouble, and it's a lot safer in a group.
Ah, now we have truth coming out. Very good. And you notice that at this point you can see that her ears are somewhat pointed.
Shayna is going to kill you for this.
She's just going to make a mental note.
She says, "Very well. If your reason is safety, that is still a noble cause as much, and you do indeed have a desire to protect." And you see a little bit of light kind of radiate from her. And then she seems to go lost in thought. And then she looks over at Valen and she says, "Valen, tell me why you wish to join the Inquisition."
He'll think. I finally want somewhere where I can belong. The Inquisition seems like a good place to start and try.
Well, you're certainly right about that. We don't discriminate here. Most of us are equals. And we do not lie to one another. We do not keep secrets from one another. This is not only a organization of extreme dedication to one another, but we are almost like one large family. But you don't lie, steal, or cheat to family. Is this understood by both of you?
Of course.
Naturally.
Are you both telling the truth on that?
Yes.
Okay.
I have no reason to lie.
Yep, because she has discern lies casted. She pauses, looks up at you two, signs a bit of paperwork, reaches under her desk, and hands you both two Inquisition crests, so to speak, or badges. She has you sign some paperwork, and then she says, "Very well. Welcome to the Inquisition. We'll see how you do. Your rooms are on the third floor."
Thank you. She'll actually attach it to the necklace she's wearing and will sort of drag Valen out.
You may help yourselves to a decent meal down in the mess hall. Dinner is over since it's very late, but you can still catch some very good preparation by our cook.
Thank you very much. Lady Priscilla?
That will do fine. You can call me Pris. She smiles.
Thank you, Pris.
You also can tell that she is wearing the garments now that she stands up. She's wearing the garments of a Grey Warden. She is also
Maris
yep.
is quirked an eyebrow at it.
She is also wielding 2 rapiers at her hip.
Okay, Lord. And Alan will attach the badge to, as you can see, of his overlay on the side of his little headpiece.
Mm-hmm. And do you two leave? And go to the mess hall?
Yeah.
Sure, she'll go to the mess hall and she'll be muttering about getting him iron mittens if he burns anything while they're in there.
And for those of you who have played Dragon Age, Skyhold is pretty vast. It's gotten quite a bit of upgrades since the game, and there's been a lot of adventuring that the party has done, so there have been a lot of stuff added to it.
No more hole in the wall.
No more hole in the wall. Now there's, and not to mention, now there's 2 Skyholds. So, but you go there, and the mess hall is very vast, of course. But our camera will take us back to Pris for just a moment. Priscilla sits down at her desk and starts writing, and then quirks an eyebrow, looks up, sniffs the air. Just how long were you sitting there listening, Serena?
I don't know what you're talking about. It just arrived.
Priscilla quirks an eyebrow and looks at you. Are you lying or not?
No, she's not lying.
She's not lying. She literally just arrived. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
I had no reason to be there. Like, out of character, I have no idea. So, you know. But let me type you something. So, yeah. So,
Pris kind of
what's happening?
Pris looks at you and she says, "Why don't you explain this to me?" And then hands you the paper she wrote with Valen and Maris's basically contract.
By the way, out of character, has Mary's taken her stepfather's last name or her dad's?
She actually has no last name because she
Okay.
didn't know her birth father's last name, so she didn't take any.
Okay. Well, how am I supposed to explain that? First of all. Second of all, this could be a coincidence, right, Pris?
She seems to glow for just a moment and she says, "Maybe. Maybe it isn't."
I think you're...
Maybe the Maker tells me things that you cannot hear.
Maybe you're scratching old wounds that have healed and not need poking at the moment, Pris. I don't think there would be a way to verify it either way. Anyway, I barely remember anything of my father.
Either way, why don't you go get these 2 introduced to Skyhold and what our policies and regulations are, and give them a little tour, so to speak.
What are their specialties? Let's say their occupations.
Maris is somewhat in your department, and Valen is a apostate.
Okay. I think it would be best if I. Has he been trained? Has he been in the circle? No,
It
apostate.
does
No.
not seem so. No.
Okay, I guess I will take him to Morgan. As for Maris, I'll see what are her skills and how we can use her.
Very well. Try not to start a fight this time.
Hey, I never start the fights. I end them.
Uh huh. She pauses and goes
Uh,
back to her work.
Serena will leave and go to the mess hall, observing for the moment.
She has made Valen sit down while she gets them wine and food.
Serena is just gonna be observing them from a distance for a little bit, very, very discreetly.
Like as she serves him, she goes, "You know what I blame for this situation? Your father, that merchant bastard. It's his fault we're in this predicament." And she'll sit down with her own glass of ale instead of wine.
Insult him all you want, I never knew him. He'll smile at her.
What did you say?
He'll go, insult him all you want, I never knew him. And he'll smile at her.
Oh, please. I am sure you remember. You were only like, what, 6 or 7 when he went trading with Dinnerum?
It was the other way around. He left Denerim first. I don't know where he went after.
She looks over at the new boy.
That was out of character, but
Yeah, I think that's
Oh.
Alan.
Oh, the main excuse we were using is he left to go trading and he gave different stories of where he left.
oh, yeah, that makes sense. Serena will go sit at a table away from them, but close enough to listen in, as she's actually writing on her journal.
You could have been so good if only Mother had chosen an elf for your father also. But no, she had to pick a merchant who smelled like a wet dog.
It's not my fault.
No, I'm saying it's your fault, Valen. I'm saying it's people's faults. God, it smells here. I miss the cheese.
Mirthus and Valen, you see this woman um, come and sit down in front of you two.
I'd say Valen is tossing an apple, and when she comes, he like takes a bite, a small bite.
Maris will do a proper Orlesian, almost like she would be a noble, but she's an elf type greeting to Sylvia.
To your surprise, this woman does a flawless Orlesian greeting back to you.
She'll smile. Finally, someone with proper manners. And she'll look at her brother when she says this. I will make notes that they're from Orlais and they're considered more middle class. They are wearing the makeup that Orlesians wear when they're not wearing masks.
Yep, she does look quite, nice, and she looks across the table at you and she says, "Oh, nonsense! It's there's no need for extreme formalities here, but manners they do go a long way."
I was taught at work you always keep your manners about you.
Always keep your manners about you.
Eye rolls.
She turns and looks at Serena before Serena even does anything, and she says, "I know, Serena, that manners are often lost on you, but you have other talents. You shouldn't sell yourself short."
I never do. I have many other talents.
Hmm.
By the way, newcomers, when you finish your meal, I will get you acquainted with the keep.
Very well, Serena. I'll let you take it from here then. I have other business to attend to. And she sets down on the table, much like on her overlay, a silver upper face mask and slides it over to you, Maris.
Maris will take it and smile, and she'll actually put it on a belt loop next to another mask that looks like it's more copper.
Serena will nod to Sylvia.
Look.
And will actually wait for them to finish eating, because
We
food
look
is
forward.
important.
We look forward to meeting. I look forward to meeting you again.
Despite not having ate much since leaving Orlais, Mira still takes her small portion, almost like she's a little lady, bites while watching everyone in the room,
Mhm.
muttering that
The only other
No.
person, the only other person besides Serena and you two in the room after she leaves is this man who's sitting over, kind of by a corner, and that's it.
she's watching him.
Serena, you could have swore with all of your skills and perception and all of your experience that there was no one else in the room after she left, but now you clearly notice him. You've met him before, though. His name is Vlad.
Yeah, I'll pay him no mind. I'll just pretend I'm writing in the journal while waiting for them to finish their food. I'm being very, very discreet here.
Indeed, this food is amazing. Like you guys have like you've had good food before, but this is like whoa.
Juicy piglet. Juicy piglet.
Someone's here. Be right back.
Hmm.
Velma keeps him at us as he eats. Probably a little quicker than he normally does, but still keeps his manners about him.
So, you're coming from afar?
Alright,
Orlais. Quite a travel. I'm Serena, by the way.
Valen, pleased to meet you.
Actually, wait for Jess to come back for the introduction so I can give
Sure.
you a shock. Yeah. So I won't say names yet. I'll just talk about small talk. So what were you doing in Orlais?
My sister was mainly keeping me safe.
I heard you are a mage and a apostate, no less.
Yes,
Rest assured, you have nothing to fear here. I will make sure you are instructed by the right people.
oh, we know. If I had something to fear here, we wouldn't have come.
Quite so, but keep in mind there are some former Templars.
Then I'll do what I need to defend myself.
Speaking of former Templars, Serena, as
You
you
didn't-
speaking of former Templars, Serena, as you say that, a former Templar you know as Ceres, she's good friends with Alistair and Colin, comes, sits down, grabs a late night bowl, and goes over to another table and starts eating.
Yeah, you need not fear anything from our former Templars, Valen. They're not any danger to you. However, you need to learn, if you don't already know how to control your powers, you need to learn discipline.
I know how to use my powers. My sister does keep on reminding me that I do need discipline.
Well, it wouldn't be very good if you, I don't know, demolished half the building or burn it down or whatever. We already have the dwarves doing that.
I try not to.
I'm back.
Okay, good, because formal introduction is about to be made.
Yeah, sorry. The kid I'm babysitting, his dad's here picking him up now.
Okay.
So, are you here or are you not?
I am here. I'm just trying to get the kid to be quiet while he gets his bag.
Okay, so we can small talk a little bit more.
And if I
So,
say, well, I try, but
what are your specific skills then?
Us, but
I'm a magus. I can you use both a sword and spells.
Specifics, dear, specifics.
Well,
If you wanted a classification as to majority of your magic, a majority of your magic is like you can tap into what's known as arcane reservoirs better than other spellcasting things can. So I would say that you are almost, in terms of classes or branches in Dragon Age, you would be very specialized in the arcane branch or tree.
okay. I'm what you may call an arcanist. Okay, arcanist. Like OC.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's okay. I am what you may call an arcanist among the mages.
Okay, I just want to see
As
how to verify you.
yeah, while they talk, once she's done reapplying and adjusting her lipstick, Mirris will turn and goes, "The food was quite delectable. Sadly, did not taste of despair like back home."
Huh. Interesting. Anyway, how about you? Maris, was it? Serena, by the way. Serena
By the way,
Strickland.
Serena, you see Mirana come in, the chef, and sit down and help herself.
Yeah, because why not ruin the best fucking shocking moment?
Well, there are two characters just sitting there. I'm just telling you who's entering the room and who's in the room.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, that's what it says. Serena Strickland, Raven of the Inquisition.
I am Mirris, no family name. I do have a man that raised me. She looks at Valen as she says this.
What are your specific skills? I heard that you are closer to my profession than your
in
brother.
relay, I play the game.
I see. However, we are not in Orlay at the moment, so how can I use you?
I am similar to what is the word again, Valen? I collect, I eliminate. Yes, that's the right way. And I dance.
And disguise.
So you're pretty much a bard.
An assassin bard.
Well, yeah.
Well, the
don't
bards
say
are
that,
the
though.
assassins. Minstrels just perform. Yes, I guess. I believe that would be the word you use.
Wasn't Strickland father's last name?
Your father's last name, I assume he has many family members everywhere.
Probably true.
Interesting.
I mean, he moved from Dinnerim to us to. He told Mother the free marches and told me back to Dinnerim, so who knows where the man is.
It seems we are siblings, maybe cousins.
It's not that hard to get a mage to do a performance to check.
Well, to be fair, I cannot. There's no way that I could personally verify this. But we'll get to that in due time. For the time being, maybe I should just get you what's the word? Oriented.
Oh, there's no problem. If you wish to orient us, then please, by all means. We are at a team at your disposal and use.
Mm-hmm. Let us go around.
She's slowly going to lean over as Colin comes in and just look at him.
Look there, and I'll cut you out of character.
She'll call out in her Orlesian accent. My, isn't that a beautiful little Shimlin?
Colin kind of walks by you, Serena, and kind of as he's getting his plate, he kind of does that whole thing where like he pushes his butt into yours and kind of pushes you forward a bit, and then keeps walking. Looks back at you and winks.
Yeah, Serena will try to contain her silly smile, but will fail.
Look, Valen, that is what a Shimlin is supposed to look like. She's saying all of this out loud, by the way.
Yeah, Maris, Valen, shall we? You can get to Gogat Callan later. That's the commander, by the way.
Well, hello, Commander.
He gives a formal introduction, and he says, "Hello. Are these the two new recruits I just found out about, Serena?"
Yes, these are the two. I'm
Oh.
going to show them around.
She kind of smirking at Serena, and she goes, "The elevation in your voice suggests a hint of jealousy."
Valen will whisper in his sister's half. If Maris is here, he goes. If we're half
Colin
siblings,
slowly steps back and looks at Serena and says, "Don't get blood on the floor."
and
My
he
dear Maris, Serena will say, I have nothing to be jealous of, my dear.
Of course, naturally, you make beautiful babies in the future.
Serena will physically blush.
Colin goes extremely red.
Yeah, they both do.
Valen whispers in Maris's ear. He goes, "If like in a joking manner, he goes, if we're half siblings, how come we both take after father?"
She slaps Valen with her glove.
She what?
She takes her glove off and slaps Valen across the face with it. Putting it back on, remember your place, I am your elder brother. Serena.
Maris.
We'll have none of that in here.
Maris.
Here, you're equals.
Maris, roll me a perception check, please.
Okay. Let me pull my shit back up.
Like, seriously, you can't just do that kind of thing around here.
Out of character, I know. In character, she doesn't. And she assumes she is disciplining a bratty brother.
Yeah, not anymore. Like, right now, this man is not your brother. Right now, he's a recruit of the Inquisition. And you will show him the respect that this
I
position
don't have
requires.
perception on her sheet. That I use the fillable sheet.
Oh boy.
What do you mean you don't have perception?
I don't see it, or am I just missing it? Oh, there it is.
The skills.
Yeah, I saw it. I was like skimming through skills. It's super tiny. There we go. I have 4.
4?
Yeah.
Ooh, fuck me. What level did you make the character, by the way?
I made it a level 1, and then I leveled it up to whatever level it was Brendan told me to go.
I told you 11, yeah.
Yeah. That's just 4 total ranks in it. That's whatever gets added with the whole roll later.
It's going to be your ranks plus your wisdom modifier.
Okay, so well, my modifier for wisdom is a 0 because I only have a 10 in wisdom.
I know. Hold on a second. I'm adding up all your stuff. So it's going to be 4 plus half your level, which would be 5. So you've got a total of 9 perception.
Okay, so it'd be 9d20.
No, it'd be 1d20 plus 9, not 9d20.
Okay. I'm still thinking World of Darkness, apparently. Sorry.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah. Oh.
Try again.
I know. Stop judging me, Christine.
Oh my god, how can you get my name wrong? It's so fucking simple.
Okay, so Maris, you're only barely able to catch the tail end of this, but the moment you slap him, there is a very large and bright sword under your neck. And everyone in the room sees this woman holding it to your throat. And she says, "We don't do that here. We do not tolerate that here."
Then I should find another way to discipline my brother.
Maris, this is not your brother anymore. He's a recruit. He will be instructed by people who can help him. I don't think you can. No offense.
Her eyebrows narrow. I don't see any of you others having kept him alive over the years.
I'm pretty sure he would be capable of doing it himself given the chance.
Sarah,
Have you given
Sarah
him a
slowly
chance?
brings the blade away and goes and kind of stands over in the corner watching you all.
Thank you. Hero, as she starts, Hero will like nod her. Thank you.
She'll give you a nod.
Yeah.
If you think you can survive without me, do it, Valen. I would love to see you stand on your own feet. Too much time alone with family.
Okay. Let's restart this, shall we? First of all, yeah, this is not the way. Second of all, let's just go, cause I'm not a very patient person and I get lose my temper quite easily. So I
Yeah.
will attribute it to your being tired from your long journey here, and I hope I won't see such behavior again. Now let's go. And so pretty much tag Valen to move, like pat him on the shoulder, like protectively.
I'm fine.
Maris
Whoa.
will walk between them. That's one thing. She has not let anyone walk beside her brother.
He sighs and just walks.
Just so you know, you can't be joined at the hip from now on. He needs to be with people that can help him, and you will have different assignments.
True that, as this random woman walks by you and says that out of the blue and keeps walking.
That was Laura. Well, you'll do introductions tomorrow probably. Now it's late. For now, what I will show you where the rooms are. I will take Valen to Morrigan, and I'll get you introduced to Liliana.
Yes, our rooms were on the third floor, I believe Lady Priscilla said.
Lady Priscilla. Great. Okay.
Is something the matter, Lady Serena?
What do you call her?
I call her Press. We don't follow many formalities around here, apart from the required ones, like the Inquisitor. You should refer to them as Inquisitor, at least in formal occasions. The Commander, you should refer to him as Commander in formal situations. As for Liliana, well,
Nonsense, you
guess-
don't need to refer to me by that. What are you talking about, Serena?
decorum,
And
Lord
you see,
Inquisitor,
you
decorum.
you all see this man come walking by.
Just based on his
You-
physical appearance, Maris looks uncomfortable.
You also notice that he only has one arm.
Serena will shake her head.
Pleasure.
A pleasure to you, Maris. And Valen. Welcome to the Inquisition. I hope you two get yourselves very acquainted here.
I see you already know our names.
Indeed. I heard. I was actually there.
Yeah, he tends to do that.
What? I like jumping around, Serena. You know that. It's fun. Hey.
Mhm.
And he looks at you and he's like, "What are you going to do about it, huh? Huh?" He starts poking you with his finger. He's like, "Huh?
We'll
Huh?
need to have a word
Huh?
later,
Huh?
Lord
Huh?
Inquisitor. For now,
He's still poking you with his finger.
Looking very confused between them.
yeah, Serena's gonna grab his finger and this is gonna whisper to his ear, "Just let me do my job for once."
He immediately teleports away somewhere.
There. now that's done.
There's a
Let's-
small little portal that opens up behind you, and you feel a staff come through the portal and poke you in the back, and then it pulls through the portal and closes.
look. You know, reality, I would have heard that and I would have dodged out of the way because I get good stats, okay? No bullshit. Don't make you roll for it.
Six portals open up, and six staves all come out and start to poke you from all directions.
Eris
Well,
is whispering to her brother Balin, "This may not have been the proper place to bring you."
I would say
Lord
that
Inquisitor has a very weird sense of humor. You'll get used to it. Just for now, let's just keep going. I'll take you to Morgan.
I
She's
would say
garden. The
I would
garden's
say the opposite. This is a perfect place for me. I can finally belong.
As
She
you
kind of rolls her elf eyes.
as you all go out to the garden, you see this woman, and she
Good evening,
says,
Morgan.
"Ah, Serena, you've brought me new playthings."
Nearest takes a defensive position in front of
Don't
Balin.
scare him off yet, dear. Come on. Valen, this is Morgan. Morgan, this is Valen. They come
Hi,
from Orlay. He needs some. Well, you can assess what kind of training he needs or doesn't need.
hello, both of you. I am Morgan, the so-called Witch of the Wilds.
Hello, Lady Morgan, and I'm sure my brother will be equal to a small child with what education I could buy him for 50 gold.
Kind of rolls
She
his eyes.
Morgan walks over to Valen, and Valen, she kind of looks you up and down, and she says, "This one is unique and special. Yes, I'll look after this one for a while. Tell me, Valen, how much experience do you have?"
Most of my experience no. As much as arcane goes, I'm more experienced than most I have met.
You burned our
She,
mother's manor down. Is
When I
all
was a child,
oh,
Okay,
you
we'll
too.
stay and chat, but here, Morgan, you can have a chat with Valen. I'm going to take Maris up to Liliana, and she'll tag Maris along to leave them.
She looks very uncomfortable about leaving her teenage brother alone with the sultry Morgan. What do we know of this Lady Morgan? What if she woos my brother into blood magic?
You know that Morgan used to be part of the Legion court, right?
I was not allowed in the main halls during those. I was busy in the private chambers of the other nobles.
Well, it just so happens that she was there, so you can trust her. Now let's move along.
That makes me trust her less.
moving on, sister. Your smile.
No, do the Morgan Valen thing, and then we'll do the Liliana thing.
Okay. So then, she kind of looks you up and down, and she says, "Why don't we get started?" And she's looking at you very, like, it's like ooh la la kind of a look.
I'm sure I'll be more than happy to get started with whatever you have in mind.
She gives a very light smile, and she says, "Good, then let us begin." And that is all I have for that scene right now. So we will go to Liliana here.
Okay, so Serena will take Maris up to the rookery. And
Oh, hold on.
We can hear it still.
that's not ominous. Nothing to worry about, nothing to see here, everything's fine. Nothing's broken. Everything's fine.
And then he has us go in there, and Liliana's trashed everything in her office for some reason.
No, she doesn't do that. But yeah, anyway, we can do a chat while on the way to the rookery. You don't need to worry about your brother.
It is my
He'll-
job to worry about him. My sweat,
No,
blood, and tears go into keeping him alive.
your job right now is whatever the Inquisition deems your job to be. His job is extending his education in magic and whatever the Inquisition deems it to be. You signed up after all. He's old enough to be able to take care of himself. He should be able to learn it. And honestly, if you want my opinion, you're hindering him.
The look she's giving Serena. Why? Because I go noble to raise funds? So I pay for private
No, because you're treating him like a child, like someone who can take care of himself. The way you spoke to him in the mess hall was quite frankly disgusting.
You should hear the way he talks when pretty women aren't around.
Well, I know what I saw. That's what I can talk about. And as for the other, that's just your word for it, and I'm not gonna take your word for it. What I see is that you're very possessive, very controlling. This, I mean, it's no real surprise that this might create angst in him. He's young, from what I can see.
He's a teenager.
How old is he?
He just turned 17.
He's old enough to learn. But being treated like a child isn't necessarily going to help with his discipline. Is that how you were raised?
As long as his father and our mother were around, it was you are treated as you speak as. You speak as a child, you're treated as a child. The rest of my youth was spent working in Orlais. I worked as soon as I turned 12.
Well, here's the thing. Take it from me. Beatings, even if it's with a glove, don't do much to discipline a person.
She kind of shrugs. I thought it would be softer than the cane I received.
Well, I've received lots of canes, and do you see me being disciplined and courteous and ladylike? No.
It's at about this
Because
time you
that's the worst.
approach the office door of Liliana, and it opens on its own.
But here we are.
Oh, was your cane
You see Liliana
flame up?
standing at the window.
Good evening, Liliana.
She looks
We're having a
over.
recruit.
She looks over at Maris and Serena, and she says, "Is that so? Both of you sit
Mhm.
down."
Mirrors
Serena
will wait for Serena to sit and then say, "Yes, my lady," and take a seat. She even sits like she's at a Orlesian party.
Yeah, Liliana comes over and sits at the desk and starts asking you questions about, your childhood and all that, and what you do, what your specialties are. And then she says, "Well then, I guess we better get started pretty soon because you're going to need to change a bit of your attitude." There are certain things we don't do here, Maris. But you'll learn soon enough.
Then I will not discipline my brother how we were raised to discipline each other. If that is against the
The
rules,
only
it is not a problem.
the discipline will come from me and the Lord Inquisitors. Not you. She pauses, and then the lights kind of start to go very dark, and she says, "Then I think we should get started." And that's where the session will end. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching.